Okay, well, we made it to the end of Unit 1. So with that, I'm going to walk through the Unit 1 review with y'all. This video will be kind of long. So what I would do, hopefully you've done the review. And the reason you're watching this video is you're stuck on a few questions. So you can skip ahead in this video. You don't have to watch all the way through. For instance, if you know 1 through 13, well then just skip all this of me working 1 through 13. But let's say you're stuck on 14, well then maybe you want to skip all the way till I start 14. So this is just to help y'all. If you're when you're in class, we'll talk about the review in class. I'll give you a chance to ask questions. I'll answer questions. Well, you can answer too. In the Google Classroom discussion, you can ask questions. So this is just another resource to get you through the review and prepared for the first unit test. So with that being said, let's get started. So they ask us to use the figure, which is up here in the top corner, to name each of the following. So the first thing they ask us to do is 3 collinear points. Well, we have to remember 2 things. First, how do we name points? With capital letters. Second thing, what's collinear mean? On the same line. So we have to look for 3 points on the same line. There's only one situation of that. Let me get my pen. It's going to be points B, E, and C. Two, ask us for 3 non-collinear points. So 3 points that are not on the same line. Well, there's different options here. The one I'm going to do, they're going to definitely not be on the same line. I'm going to pick B, A, and D. Like they're on 3 totally different lines. So I know I got that right. Remember, non-collinear is not on the same line. 4 coplanar points. So we want 4 points that are on the same plane. Remember, the plane is this shape here. It's called a parallelogram in 2D. But remember, planes go in all directions forever. But anyways, 4 points that are inside the shape here. B, E, C, and A. Four asks us to find a line in plane R. There's, again, different ways to name a line on the plane, or in the plane, I should say. You could use 2 points, or look for a lowercase cursive letter. Well, there's a lowercase cursive letter. So I'm going to say line M. Number 5, a line that intersects plane R. So remember, this dotted piece means it goes under the plane. So this line is going, starting below, going up through the plane, and then keeps going above it. What would we call that line? You could call it line ED. That works. DE works. Or we can say line, what's this cursive letter down here? N. Number 6 asks us to find the point of intersection of the line from problem 5 that we just found. So this line with the plane. So where does it go through the plane? Where does it break through the surface? Point E. It busts through right there in the middle. Number 7 says a segment on line N. Oh, there's only 2 points. So we know they've got to include those 2 points. We can do this little bar on top. That means segment. Now, if you did this on the Google form, you would have to actually type the word segment and then ED or DE. DE works too. Eight says give another name for plane R. So they don't want us to use the capital cursive letter R. They want us to give another name for it. So we have to pick 3 points in the plane that are not on the same line. If you tell me BEC, I'm going to tell you wrong. We can't say BEC. We can't say ECB. You've got to pick a point off of that line. So I'm going to say plane. Let's say plane Bay. How's that sound? B-A-E. Plane Bay. Because math is Bay. Number 9. Array opposite of EC. So EC goes to the right. We want an array that goes the opposite direction, so to the left. We've got to start at E. That's part of our rule for opposite rays. We've got to have the same starting point, but we won't go through C. This time we'll go through B. So you can do that with the symbol, or if you're online doing this, ray EB. Okay, so that's 1 through 9. We're just finding stuff, basically. 10 and 11 ask us to use this ruler to find 2 distances. First one says MP. So MP. So where did we stop? We stopped at 5 and we started at 1. Absolute value of 5 minus 1 is 4. There's our answer. Remember, distance has to be positive. I could say 1 minus 5 and get negative 4, but it's got to be positive, so the answer would still be positive 4. Number 11 talked about MD. So just to show what I showed last time, I'm going to say one absolute value of 1 minus 6. That's going to give me the absolute value of -5, which is just 5. Now, like I said in class, I don't like this method, but one thing you could do are the bunny hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like that method, but oh well. Some people do it anyways. Okay. 12. Well, first let's read the directions before we get to 12. It says X is between W and Y. So on this picture here, I need to go on and draw. So there's W, there's Y. It says X is somewhere in the middle. Somewhere. May not be the exact middle, but it's somewhere. WY, the whole thing is 15. WX is 7.6. How can I find this remaining amount? Yep, there's two different ways. One way, you probably already have said it. We'll subtract 15 minus 7.6. 15 minus 7.6. I get you 7.4. That's one way, and that's certainly the right answer here. No doubt about that. If you wanted to, you could set up an equation, but I'm going to save that for number 13. So we still have the same line. We're just given new information. So X is still in the middle. W and Y are still on the outside. Now they tell us W to Y. So the whole thing is 20. W to X is Y. Whoa, come back, come back, come back, come back. X to Y is 2y minus 1. So here's where the equation comes in. Remember, we talked about something that says part plus part equals whole. So if you add the two smaller parts together, you'll get the whole thing. So let's do that. Y plus 2y minus 1 equals 20. Now we've got to solve. Combine our y's together. Y plus 2y is 3y minus 1 equals 20. And they're at, oh, let me just stop there, hang on. Add 1, let's finish solving. 3y equals 21. Divide by 3, and you get y equals 7. Now, is that all they're asking you to find? Yes, it says find y. So you're done. If they ask you to find wx, well, It'd still be done, just WX is Y, so it'd still be 7. They ask you to find XY, you plug in, and so on. Okay, now the next part says S is the midpoint. Midpoint of TV, segment TV. So I'm going to draw TV here. S is exactly in the middle. If it's in the middle, what does that mean about the distance from T to S and S to V? Without knowing anything else, if S is in the middle, what can we say about those distances? They're congruent, they're equal. So let's mark that. Okay, now let's see what 14 tells us. 14 tells us that TS is 1.8. If it'll quit zooming out on me, I'd love to do this problem. Come on. Okay, so let's label 1.8 right here. 1.8. What is SV? Okay, well, we know they're congruent. Since they're congruent, that means the second half has to be the same as the first half. So SV equals 1.8 also. Now 15, it's basically the same picture, but I'm drawing it again because I want to keep both pictures up for each problem. So T, S, and V. We know they're congruent. Okay, let's see what it tells us. It says TV. So the whole thing is 19.7. What is SV? Well, what do we know? We know that S divides it in half. Since S divides it in half, basically, if we called this X here and X there, how many we have? X plus X equals 19.7. Or you could say 2X equals 19.7. Divide by 2, and you get X equals 9.85. So we can come over here and say that SB equals 9.85. Okay, number 16. D is between B and E. Let's draw it. So we've got B, we've got E. D is somewhere between them. I'm not going to put him right there. That makes it look like he's in the middle. I don't know that he's in the middle. He may be, he may not be. I don't know. So now let's look at the info they tell us. They say from B to D, it's 3x. D to E, I totally didn't draw this good. But anyways, 3x plus 2. And then B all the way to E is 44. So now we've got to figure out what is x. That's what we're solving for, x. Well, remember what I said up here. Part plus part equals whole. So I'm going to add the two parts together. 3x plus 3x plus 2 equals the whole thing. So 44. Let's combine our x's together. 6x plus 2 equals 44. Move the 2 over. You have 6x equals 42. Divide by 6. And you get x equals 42 divided by 6 is 7. There's our answer on that one. It just asks us to find x, so we're good. Number 17. We're still using the same concept. D is between B and E. Okay, let's label what they give us. It says BD, baby daddy, is 6x minus 8. DE is x. And then B to E is 3x plus 21. They ask us to find BD. So in the end, when we get our x, we've got to plug back in to BD. I'm highlighting that so we remember. Let's find x first. We can do the whole part plus part equals whole again. 6x minus 8 plus x equals 3x plus 21. We got to combine the x's. So 6x plus x is 7x minus 8 equals 3x plus 21. Subtract 3x. 7 minus 3 is 4x minus 8 equals 21. Almost out of the room here on this first page. So I'm going to add 8. It's going to give me 4x equals 29. Think I can squeeze it in. Divide by 4. I'm going to have to write x up here. X is, we can say 29 divided by 4. That certainly works. But it also gives us a nice decimal, which we can say is 7.25. Now, is that what it asks us for, though? No, it asks us for BD. So we have to plug it in, plug it in. So BD equals 6 times 7.25 minus 8, which gives us let's see here. Wait, did I do this right? Yeah. D is between B and E, yeah. Oh, my key is wrong. 6 times 7.25 minus 8. Oh no, that's right. I just didn't write the whole thing. 35.5. That's what it asked for. 35.5. Okay. Let's see. 18. We've got us a word problem. On word problems, what I recommend is just like we did on the shorter problems, read sentence by sentence. Don't try to read the whole thing and, what do I do? Sentence by sentence. Read a sentence, act. Read another sentence, act. If you do it that way, they're much more manageable. So 18, Susan used a measuring tape to determine where 3 students should sit at a table. Well, she's using a measuring tape, so that means we have some kind of line. I mean, if you've ever used a measuring tape, you know it comes out in a straight line until it bends because you pulled it out too far. Susan needs to be located at the midpoint. So I'm going to put a point in the middle. This is the midpoint, which means these are the same here. And Susan has to be in the middle. Tim and Rachel are on the ends. The distance between Tim and Susan is 4x minus 7. So Tim to Susan is 4x minus 7. Between Susan and Rachel is 5x minus 15. Draw a figure. We already did that. And find x. So that's our goal now. Find x. Okay, well, what do we know? Since Susan is in the middle, what can we say about these two equations, these two distances, the 4x minus 7 and the 5x minus 15? They're equal. So because I know 5x is bigger, I'm going to write it on the left and say that equals 4x minus 7. This is just to make solving it a little bit easier. So now I'll subtract our 4x over 5 minus 4 is just 1x. Equals negative 7. Add 15. I'm out of room there, so I'm going to continue up here. Negative 7 plus 15 means x equals 8. There's our answer. So that was a little deal with line segments here. Now let's talk about angles. We covered quite a bit of line segments. Let's look at angles now. Okay, it says angle ABC. Can't really see it, but this point down here is a C. Angle ABC is shown to the right. What is the vertex? Which point is the vertex? The vertex is where it turns. So where does it turn at? If we start at A, we go to B, and then we turn and go to C. So vertex is at B. Which rays form the side of angle ABC? Remember, rays have a starting point. So we have to start at the vertex, period. Each time, start at the vertex. So we start at B and go to A. And then what else? We start at B and go to C. So BA and BC are our sides. Notice the vertex is first. Notice the vertex is first. Notice the vertex is first. Which point comes first? The vertex. Hopefully you remember that now. But wait. When I do the rays, which point comes first? The vertex. Okay. Classify each angle as acute, right, obtuse, or straight. Then use the protractor to find the measure. Let's look at 20. 20 asks us about WXV. So I start at W, I go to X, turn the corner, and go to V. What does that angle look like? An acute angle. It's tiny. It's cute. Just put a little bow on it, and it'll be a cute angle. Okay, so let's see. V is at the bottom. V is good. But let's look at W. The inside number is 30. The outside number is 150. If I'm acute, which number do I need to be reading? The small number. So that means this angle is 30 degrees. Now, so this was our pink angle. WXV is our pink angle. Now let's look at ZXV. ZXV is going to be our blue angle. Z, I go to X, turn the corner, and I still go out to V. Okay? What does that look like? An obtuse angle. Okay, so we need to measure it now. So I'm going to look at my numbers. V, I'm at 0. I'm good. Z, though, I'm at 130 on the inside or 50 on the outside. One of those is going to be my answer. The 130, because we're obtuse. That's 20 and 21. Okay, so on 22 and 23, we have problems to work with angles now. It tells us F is in the interior. Remember, interior is inside. So I'm going to draw DEG. DEG. So there's D, there's E, there's G. Why this keeps zooming out on me, I have no clue. There. Stay. F is on the inside. Okay, so I've got everything drawn and labeled. Now let's see what 22 tells us. So it says FEG. Oh, I totally drew this wrong. But anyways, FEG is 115. I just didn't draw the sizes appropriately, but that's okay. DEF. DEF is 48. Find DEG. So find the whole thing. Well, what do I know in this case? Part plus part equals whole. I'm going to write that again over here. Oh, over here. Stay. Part plus part equals whole. That still is true. Okay, so we have our two parts. 48 plus 115, and we're trying to find the whole. Equals question mark. What is 48 plus 115? 163. So that means the measure of angle DEG equals 163 degrees. Yay me! Okay. 23 uses the same bold part up here. So F is on the interior. Of DEG. So DEG. F is on the inside. Now they tell us DEF is 8x minus 2. FEG is 3x plus 5. DEG, so the whole shebang, is 146. Find X. Well, how would I set this up? I know that part plus part equals whole, so that's where I'll start. 8x minus 2 is one part, plus 3x plus 5 is my other part, equals 146. Okay. Gotta solve for x now. Combine the x's. 8x plus 3x is 11x. Then we've got our numbers here we've got to combine. Negative 2 plus 5. It's going to be a plus 3 equals 146. Subtract 3. You're going to get 11x equals 143. Divide by 11. And you get x equals 13. Is that all they ask us to find? You betcha. X equals 13. That's it. Okay. $24. Is that? Yeah, it's on the next page. 24 says TV bisects. Ooh, what's that fancy word mean? TV bisects angle RTS. Bisects means cuts in half. So if you don't remember that, make a note. Cuts in half. So I need to draw an angle out here. Big old angle. We have RTS. TV bisects it. So it cuts it exactly in half. So this piece, the bottom, is equal to the top. That's what bisects means. Those two are equal to each other. It says RTV is 16x minus 6. VTS is 13x plus 9. What is the measure of RTV? That means they want us to find RTV. So what is this angle equal to? That's what we're finding. First, I got to find x, though. I don't even know what x is. But what do I know about the two parts of that angle? I know that they're equal. So I'm going to set them equal to each other. 16x minus 6 equals 13x plus 9. Then I'm going to solve. So subtract 13x. 16x minus 13x, 3x. Add 6. You're going to get 3x equals 15. Divide by 3, and you get x equals 5. Is that all I ask us to find? Just x? No. They ask us to find RTV. So I've got to plug it in, plug it in. Oh, my voice kind of cracked there. Measure of angle RTV equals 16 times 5 minus 6, which is 74 degrees. And bingo was his name. That was number 24. Okay, now on to the next group. So on this group, we have to tell whether the angles are adjacent. Remember, adjacent means they touch. Adjacent and form a linear pair. Remember, that means they touch and form a line. Or not adjacent, so they don't even touch. Other than the point in the middle. They're going to share the middle point, but other than that, their sides don't touch. 25. 25 asks us about angle TSU. So TSU. It's going to be this one. And USV. So that one. What do we think about that? Do they touch? Yeah. US. USA. USA. They touch. So they're at least adjacent, but do they make a line? Does this piece make a line? No. So this one is just adjacent. That's it. Now let's look at 26. 26 says TSU and XSV. XSV. Do they share a side? No, they don't. So this one is not adjacent. Okay, 27. Ask us about RST. So this big angle and TSU. Did they touch? Yeah. Yeah, boy. Does the side they don't share, does it make a line? Yep. RSU is all in a line. So these are adjacent and a linear pair. Or you can write, I think I should write it like this. LP. LP. Okay, 28. Name a pair of vertical angles. So remember, vertical angles are where you have two lines that cross each other. And then angles on the opposite side of that crossing are considered vertical. So this pink angle here, that's against two lines. Now let's look on the other side. So they don't share a side, but they are vertical. See how they meet here in the middle? And they just think of it like you're just touching noses. So let's name these two angles. We have angle RSX and angle TSU. TSU just has to be involved in everything, don't they? Okay, 29. Says A and B are complementary. What's that word mean? They add to equal 90 degrees. The measure of angle A is 33 degrees, so what's B? Remember, complementary means you add to equal 90. So this 33 has to add to something to give you 90. So 33 plus B has to equal 90. Well, yeah, you can subtract 33. The measure of angle B, 90 minus 33 is 57 degrees. "30" says M and N are supplementary. What's supplementary mean? They add to equal 180. The way you can remember this, it's always right to give a complement. So complementary adds to 90, a right angle. The other is 180. Supplementary is 180. I don't have a memory trick for that one. But it's always right to give a complement. So on number 30, M and N are supplementary. They have to add to 180. The measure of angle N is 54 degrees. Find M. I don't know what M is. I know 54. N is 54 though, and together they have to be 180. Subtract 54. I get that M, so the measure of angle M equals 126. "31" says A and B are complementary. What's complementary mean? They add to equal 90 degrees. If the measure of angle A is 3y plus 18, the measure of angle B is 6y, find measure of angle B. So let's think about this. We know that A plus B has to equal 90. What's A? 3y plus 18. Plus, what's B? 6y equals 90. Now we've just got to find y. So I'm going to combine the y's. 3y and 6y. It's going to be 9y plus 18 equals 90. Subtract 18. And get 9y equals 90 minus 18 is 72. I'm out of room down there, so I'm going to bring this up here. Divide by 9. I'm going to get y equals 8. Is that all it asks me to find? Is find y. No, it tells me to find the measure of angle B. The measure of angle B is 6 times y. 6 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 8 is 48. There's 31. Now let's look at 32. 32 says that CDE and EDF are supplementary. What supplementary mean? They add to equal 180. So let's just stop there and write what that means. That means CDE plus EDF equals 180. Okay. Now let's see what it tells us. It says CDE is 7x plus 4. So write that in. 7x plus 4. Plus EDF is 2x plus 14. And together they're 180. Find x and CDE. So we've got two parts. First, we've got to find x. Then we've got to find CDE. Well, I've already got my equation set up to find x. So let's start by combining our x's. 7x plus 2x is 9x. 4 plus 14 is 18. Altogether, that gives you 180. Subtract 18. You're going to get 9x equals 162 divided by 9. It's going to give you x equals 18. That's one part. It does say find x, so that's one answer. Now to get CDE, we have to plug it in, plug it in. So the measure of angle CDE equals 7 times 18 plus 4. Which gives you 130 degrees. And now we have both answers. Almost done with the review. 33 asks us, what is the value of n? Well, we've got two angles here. That should be a degree symbol. What do we notice, though, about those two angles? What's this bottom make down here? A line. And what's the line equal to? 180 degrees. Which means, since they equal 180, these are supplementary. So to solve for n, we have to add them together, set them equal to 180. So 2n plus 8 plus 4n minus 2 equals 180. Combine your n's. 2n plus 4n, 6n. Combine your numbers. 8 minus 2 plus 6 equals 180. Subtract 6 from both sides. You get 6n equals 174. Divide by 6. And we get n equals 29. Is that all they ask us to find? Yep. There's our answer. And the moment you've all been waiting for, the last one. What is the value of x? Well, we're given two angles here. What do we know? What's our special name for these two angles? They are vertical angles. And what's special about vertical angles? They're congruent. So this side is equal to that side. So what does x have to be then? 75. Don't overcomplicate it. X is 75. Okay, so that was the Unit 1 review. As you'll find out, the tests are pretty similar to the review. So if you got through that pretty easily, then you're probably ready for the test. If you didn't get through the review easily, then maybe you need to study some more. I would suggest if there's problems that you struggle with, maybe rewind this video, watch those problems again, make more notes, whatever you need to do. Ask me questions. Ask your friends questions, as long as it's not during the test. But anyways, the test looks similar to the review. So, you know the review, then you're good. You don't know the review, you might need to study some.